Right, uno, dos, tres. All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Media Hijack, episode 130. Welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast that brings you the latest news and the most intriguing stories from around the world. Join us as we delve into the world of conspiracy theories and explore the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil of mainstream media.
Yes, sir. We'll cover everything from government cover-ups to secret societies and everything in between. So, if you're a fan of unconventional and unexplained, you won't want to miss a single episode of the Media Hijack.
Not one single episode.
Not uno.
Yep. So, make sure you guys subscribe to our podcast. Make sure you guys give us that 5 stars on Apple. If you can do it on Spotify, run it, because we need help. We still need a lot of help. But we're here. We're getting there.
We've been hanging in there.
We're getting there. Also, if you guys want to buy some shirts like this one, you can just head over to the website, MediaHijack.com, and then you guys can visit our Reddit page if you guys want to have some fun over there. Also, you guys can visit us on YouTube for the replay of this live Twitch video. And if you're listeners and you guys want to visit us on Twitch while we're doing this live, where we can actually still read comments, visit us on Twitch.
Yeah, do it.
We're here live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, sir. We try to be 6 p.m. We try. We really do, folks.
Yeah, we're here at 6 p.m. But, like when we start the show, we want the crowd to build up a little.
Yeah, we just got to let it marinate a little bit.
Even if it's just one person that just shows up at the door, the bouncer let him in.
Hey, come on in.
We start the show right when that one person jump in the door.
Gotta search you for weapons. Big man, hold on, turn around.
Yeah.
Pat your legs down.
Yep. All right, guys. So today's main topic, we're going to be talking about BlackRock, everything that's involved in those guys and their controversies, and I think Chris has a lot of information about these guys.
Yeah, I got a little bit of stuff, got some stuff.
A lot of theories on what's going on, and then I'm going to be talking about time slips, the concept of time slip, the whole time slip theory.
Okay.
Yeah, I was recommended this topic by AI GPT chat.
What?
I put in the comment. I put in the chat. I was like, "Hey, give me a good topic for a podcast that's weird." They're like, "Time slip, run it."
I got you.
Copy that, say no more. Then I just started looking up time slip theory.
Here you go. Time slip.
Thank you, AI, for the assistance.
Damn. They running things.
All right, let's get started. I'll let Chris run the show for now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to it. All right. So what we're going to talk about with our first subject is going to be the BlackRock Foundation.
What is the BlackRock Foundation?
So I'm trying to break this down in the best way I can. I looked it up several times at different spots on the internet to see if I'm not a finance guy, so a lot of this stuff kind of went over my head. So I had to read around a little bit more to understand it. But the BlackRock is actually a corporation that deals with other countries' financial debt. If I'm explaining it right, how they operate is if a company or a country has like financial problems, they go in there and they help them. For a fee, they help basically straighten out countries' financial issues, or they seem to be like the people that have the plans for everything. They're basically like what's the word I'm looking for?
Like an asset manager.
Yeah, asset management.
Yeah,
it's like I'm assuming it's like a legal term for it.
Whoa, what's that static? You hear it?
I do hear it.
No, keep going.
Okay.
Wait, lift that mic just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Just as long as that you're not hitting that cable.
Okay,
that's good.
All right. So then, with BlackRock and everything, they are a company that deals with asset management. So they help deal with other countries' money and help them or get through just like crashes and falls within their economic system of countries. They go in there, they clean house, they take a fee every time, and then they move on their merry own way. pretty handy, I guess, for a lot of countries who are messy with money and whatnot. So that's a good thing for them that they got a backup company like this help them out. The thing is, though, everybody owes them money in the long run. That they accumulate debt, just like how us regular people accumulate debt here in other countries. Our countries have debt too, and a lot of them owe debt to this one corporation, which is, as far as like GDP wise, I think with the amount of money they bring in just based off of like how they operate is like $10 trillion. So they're like the third largest like entity on the planet as far as like financial wise. It's like,
yeah, like what's crazy is like this company. It's just a company. It's not even a country, and they're managing over $9-10 trillion of money, which is more than like all the countries like in the world
combined. All the countries in the world, only behind was it the U.S. and China.
Yeah, so they're like,
so if they were a country,
all the money they have, if they were a country, they would be like the third country with the most amount of money.
So they would beat out Russia, Australia.
Yeah, it's crazy because trillion is a ridiculous number.
Yeah. Insane.
Because even with all the like the cryptocurrency stuff that's going on, if you look at the overall spec of like cryptocurrency, even though everybody's putting all their money in that shit, it went from I think like 1 trillion, now it's down like below $1 trillion. Right? This is like the whole wealth of the whole cryptocurrency. Yeah. But then if you think, okay, like one company, BlackRock alone, this one company alone trumps all that shit.
Yeah.
Over $9 trillion.
Everything.
And imagine that $9 trillion on Dogecoin.
Right? Like, that should be crazy.
Blow the whole lid off, dude.
All of it.
Everybody be choking. Just like
no, it would disrupt everything.
What's good, Shell Shock? Welcome back, dude.
Shell Shock.
I miss you, man.
Yes, miss you too.
It's been a while.
It says all right. So, anyways, so BlackRock is a corporation, and it's still a baby in terms of its existence, right? Because companies been out there decades upon decades. It's been making a mess around the world, but this is still pretty much new in my eyes. It was founded in 1988.
1988, yeah.
1988 by Larry Fink, Robert Capito, Susan Wagner, Barbara Novak, Ben Gulup, Hugh Freitner, Ralph and Keith Anderson. Well, I wasn't gonna try that one. Well, I jumped over that one. No, sir. But all these guys and females basically just run the whole gig and going for it. Some of the information I was looking up for, because this is a company that most people don't know exists. This shit is unknown to a whole lot of people, but they control every aspect. They control a shit ton of our own lives as far as like even what we consume media wise. It's scary as hell. That's what money brings. When you got the money, you can make these type of moves. And the reason why you haven't heard that much about them is because they don't want to be heard, and they can control the media to not talk about them as they see fit.
Yep. So BlackRock is known for its use of technology and data analytics to help manage its investment portfolios and make informed investment decisions, which reminded me of what happened recently, like with crypto. If you know about the Luna coin situation,
more or less,
where like the whole shit just literally overnight, people went from like millions of dollars down to like hundreds of dollars overnight because of like how they disrupted that whole system on their. I mean, the guy that was behind the Luna coin, he was saying like the whole system was like, I guess, built like perfectly to where nobody can like fuck it up. But then somebody else saying like, no, your shit's like a pyramid scheme. Then if something happened, the whole company can be taken down. So I think like one of the people that took that shit serious and say, yeah, I can prove to you that your shit is a pyramid scheme and we can break your whole shit down.
And
They
went
broke
in.
that shit down, dude. Like literally took that shit, like took all the legs off of like, yeah, your shit's a fucking fraud.
Look at
And
you.
if you had enough money, like let's say for example, BlackRock, if they had enough money to do it, they can do it easy. They can make you an example.
Yeah,
Because
could-
they have the money to back all that shit up.
10 trillion. Like,
Yeah.
who gonna stop that? Like that is
They're like, all right, we're gonna test your little coin. Let's see
That's
if
cute.
if your shit's legit. Broke that shit apart, dude. Like ripped his asshole, everything.
It's like, look at you
For
squirming
the
on
people,
the ground.
yeah, I remember people saying, "Yeah, get Luna coin, blah blah blah." I never got it personally,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know people who got it, where they got like a lot of wealth from it. I was like, damn. And then I was like, yeah, I missed out on the boat. I was like, yeah, I missed it.
But the ones that were still sticking around,
Yeah, the one that still like stuck around, like when they bought it at $1, because it went all to like over $100.
shit.
So they made hella money. But they couldn't, when the shit came crashing out, it happened too fast where they lost all that money like completely. And then there was like some exchanges where they didn't even let you take that shit out. So I was like, damn, that shit's messy.
Oh damn.
I was like, hey.
They closed the doors on you.
you, you guys play with crypto. Like this shit it could get scary, dude.
It's like, sorry guys, we're all out of lifeboats.
Yeah, basically.
we
Like
about to sink
the
with this shit.
Titanic is sinking. Like, hey, let me get that lifeboat. I can put my money back.
What lifeboat?
About that. Yeah, we don't scale like that. Like that shit.
Oh man, should have got off when he had a chance.
Yeah, so like
Shit.
people on the internet that I follow where they lost a lot of money, people were calling them saying, "Hey, are you okay? I know you lost millions."
Yeah, you gotta check on these
And
people.
then like,
man.
yeah, you gotta check on them. And then the dude was like, he had to check on himself. It's like, yeah, I'm okay. And then he realized like, yeah, I probably should check on myself. 'Cause I just lost millions of dollars.
I might be going into shock. I don't.
Yeah, it's like it didn't hit him yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the little support group because it was just normal people like me and you had like a support group where they're saying, all right, this Luna shit, this shit's fucking straight to the moon right now.
Mm.
And then literally overnight, the whole shit crashed. And then they were trying to say like BlackRock was behind it, like they had the funds like to actually demolish like something like that.
I mean, with 10 trillion, and then you're not even a country, so you're not even like because if you're a country that makes like that type of that amount of money, that means you're making deals, you got trades and all this other stuff. You know, the economy and trades going across seas and whatnot, and you build off of that. And then this is just a business at the end of the day, but it has the flex of what a country could do. How the fuck can you? And they run shit. They run everything.
Let's pause real quick.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try to fix that mic.
Okay.
And we're back. Welcome back, guys.
Hello. All right.
Black rocks, pale face, bleeding in snowflakes.
All right. So where we at? We were talking about the GDP, right? Or the flex of what they can do. So I know some of you may be thinking, well, Chris, Unholy, how come I've never heard about them? Like, I've heard of everything else. I've scoured the internet. I'm a huge conspiracy theorist. How come I've never heard of BlackRock? And I say the reason why is because they don't want to be heard of. They don't want people to know about their existence. They came out in I think in 1999 that they were an entity, that they did exist. But even then, it's still going forward. 1999, here we are now, 2022. They're still unknown, but more and more people are starting to catch on to their name. It's starting to pop up more now.
I think what kind of put them more on the map was
The crypto.
the crypto.
Yeah.
Because that's when I first heard about them. When they're saying, who could be behind this shit where somebody had so much amount of money in this one crypto and completely pulled all that shit out.
Just elbow their way into the fucking crypto world.
And everybody that was in that world within that coin, they all got handicapped, put in a wheelchair. Some people did commit suicide. So
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised.
That's why I wasn't laughing, because it was real people that actually commit suicide over how much money they lost. And man, money is not everything. That's why people just gotta get familiar with that. Like, yeah, cool, making money or whatever, but
Money
it's
isn't
not everything.
Money isn't everything, but it's become in the world that we live in, it's become such a bane. No, not bane, but it's become such it's a critical way of our existence in a lot of ways, of just even living a happier life. I know that some people do say that, money doesn't make you happy or and whatnot. And I do agree with that on some level, but it does make shit a lot easier, though. Because when you first started explaining about how people were committing suicide because how BlackRock just did what they did, it made me think of during the Great Depression and the stock market crashed, and how people at Wall Street was like nosediving, swanton bombing out of the damn fucking Wall Street buildings and smacking it to the ground because they had just lost all their finances, and there was just everybody was committing suicide. They had like stocks and whatnot, and
Enron.
And just lost all them pennies.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Especially people that's like, okay, this supposed to have been for my family, and I was building up a wealth, and
I can understand that too. Like you built that shit so high, and then it's like you're playing like a character level 60, right?
Oh my god, and you just grind it all the time.
Yeah, and then your account got hacked.
And you're not even level 1, you're level 0.
Yeah, like you gotta build your character again, and then you gotta play on the map where your character could barely eat.
Man, it's hard to see the light in the tunnel after that. It's kind of like, man, I'm broke.
Shell Shock says the housing market too.
Yes,
there's some like controversy about them, like with the whole 2008 like housing market.
Yes,
do you have information about that?
Let me see with the housing market.
Run that for our sweet baby Shell Shock. Hey, Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Hope you enjoyed your holiday.
Okay, so I know with the housing market, and I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah. Do I have that? Okay. I'm going to try to like just bounce off top of my memory on this one. I know with the housing market, because we got Wall Street that wanted to gamble with people's lives, and they were selling it, and these banks were selling houses to people who couldn't afford it, and they was doing predatory lending and giving out money that they knew these people couldn't fucking afford these houses, and caused this big ass crash. Well, if I remember correctly, is that the U.S. had to go to BlackRock
to get bailed out.
Oh,
okay, I understand.
And they had something like, because BlackRock in their possession has like some type of they have like a computer programming. I know one is called like Aladdin computer programming, but they have like some type of computer program that's able to like break down the portfolios, everybody's finances, and and they actually do sell it to some countries if they can afford it. But it's like computer programming. I don't know if they got some kind of quantum computer in their possession, but they do have something of where it's able to break down, because these aren't. People need to understand, like, okay, it may have started off as humans, maybe back in '88, humans maybe trying to figure this shit out and helping countries with their finances, and now it's computer based. So they have like programs, and one of them I came across was called like the Aladdin program of just breaking shit down and then refinancing everybody's shit for them and putting it organized. It basically just says like it just organizes things for them, and puts everything back on track. And it seems like they did that with the housing market crash. They did it during COVID when America got wrecked during COVID on an economic level. America got to go back to them like, please, BlackRock, we need your help.
Yeah, that's crazy how like that's just putting it in the spec of how powerful
that shit is.
Company is BlackRock, where a whole country goes to them and say, hey, please, like
we fucked up.
Like our accounting manager,
please help me.
He was on DMT one day and he completely wrecked the whole books and shit, and we need your help because now we're like negative trillions of dollars. Please help us, BlackRock. BlackRock's like, hey, we got you.
My child, I have you.
But here's the fine print.
I was about to say, for a fee. Don't get too happy yet. You're going to owe us for the rest of your life. And that's why when you, and reading stuff about how, just the power that BlackRock has, because they say that when I was reading, and that they're the third highest in the world. If they were a country, they would be the third richest country in the world behind China and U.S., right? When I read that, and it made me think, the more I kept reading about how BlackRock is, it really made me think that I don't think they're probably the third. I think they would probably be number one. They want you to think they will be the third if this news ever gets out, because how can these two countries be number two if everybody's owning money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, how it don't make any sense. But I think it's like, okay, because in case we get exposed, let's say like we're at least in third place. We can't say we're number one, because that will look crazy as hell that a corporation is bigger than the U.S., which U.S.
How can any entity or a company have that amount of money like that?
Everybody owes it. And so, and it's kind of like a thing because since everybody in the U.S. seems like is caught under debt, it's like the country's in debt, so now they have to create debt to help themselves out of debt.
You know what it reminds me of? Like you know how everything could be all fake and shit? Like, let's say like a celebrity, right? Has like over like 20 million followers, right? But then 25% of it is bots.
Oh, yeah. They pay
so
for
then they
shit.
remove all the bots. So I'm saying like, okay, a country worth whatever trillions of dollars, but let's remove all the fake money.
Yeah.
All the money that hasn't been verified by nothing. It's just fucking made up make-believe money. Remove all that. How much are these countries even worth? If it's like legit money behind it, besides printed money.
For real.
Like what's been going on with all these major big countries, the conspiracy behind them printing money. Like, is America really worth all this? Or are we like completely in debt with companies like BlackRock? Or are we in debt with China? Or whatever the reason may be.
I'm pretty sure Shell Shock may have heard of this already. And this is like, I heard about last week. I didn't really look into it, and I really need to.
What you heard, Shell Shock? Shell Shock says it's seriously why corporations are not to be trusted. Kill your masters.
Yeah, corporations not to be trusted. America fell into like, that's why some people call the United States of corporations. Because America's got they knee deep in corporations, man. They run all this shit. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit too, but for example, like recently, you remember a couple years ago, or something like actually not a couple, it was like some years back, where the Pentagon like trillions of dollars went missing and they couldn't find that shit.
Yeah, black money.
Yes, it happened again. It just happened again. I remember hearing about
recent.
Like last week, I heard about it. I didn't even look into it, but there's more. Some more money in the Pentagon's gone missing again, and they, of course, it's gonna get swept under the rug, and nobody's gonna. They're gonna cover the shit up, but where's all these finances going? Are they on this? It's got to be going to. They paying off BlackRock, but the thing is, though, how many? This country is. I feel like it's caught itself up in this weird way with it because they do start cutting like Social Security a lot of times too. And that's why I feel like when we get to our twilight years, Social Security, we probably gotta wait till like 70 for that shit because the government's trying to constantly push it back. They're taking money out of Social Security. They're always taking money out of it all the time and using it for whatever the hell they need to use it for.
Yeah, they're trying to like push it back so we can die first before we can collect.
Yeah, it's just like okay, they're dead. They can never
before
get
we pass go, we probably we gotta run through landmines.
Yeah, before you can get to it.
It's like, oh, you drank almond milk in 2023 on January? All those were poison, by the way.
Good luck seeing 70.
A whole gang of people just fucking laid out.
Get wiped out.
Like, oh, thank God. They were going to make it to, like, Social Security, like, collection and shit.
Man, they're so close.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was saying before, okay, so take a step back a little bit.
Wild conspiracy, huh?
When people weren't... while a lot of people haven't heard of these, heard of BlackRock, is because they own a shit ton of the media. And also, too, you got companies, too, like BlackRock and Vanguard Group and another one called the Third State Street. Those are like the three biggest companies out there in the world that's running this game. Mm-hmm. But with BlackRock, they do run and own a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to read the list of who they own within the media right quick. It's going to be, so right here.
Is Apple one?
Don't think so. No, I don't see Apple. I don't remember I seen Apple earlier either.
Interesting.
But 18% of Fox. So anything that's Fox related. So that's like Hulu and all. Any type of news shit you watch is Fox, like owned by Fox. They own 18% of that. 60% of CBS, and therefore also 60 Minutes. 13% of Comcast, which owns NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, and Sky Media Group. 12% of CNN. 12% of Disney, which owns ABC, and 538.
So they own a lot of like the media stuff where they get whatever they can feed people.
Yes, they are just everything.
Which is wild. That's crazy.
And one, I'm gonna skip a couple of these because like they don't really matter. This one I really caught my attention was they own 10% of Sinclair Local Television News. Now, for all my conspiracy heads out there that remember Sinclair Broadcasting. Not too long ago, maybe probably a little bit before COVID, people started catching on like these news organizations were running the same script. Hey, this is Sinclair Broadcasting News, and da-da-da-da-da-da. They all run the same script and the same type of news. It's all, and for like the longest, a lot of people saying like, who the fuck is running this shit? They all are scripted, and this is like local news, the ones you're supposed to really trust. This is the one, like, they weren't like CNN shit. This is like local news owned by Sinclair Broadcasting Company, all running on the same script, all having to report on the same news. And if they all run off the same script, that means they're probably covering up shit or not, ignoring a bunch of news that don't matter, or trying to maybe like the news does a lot of times, likes to stir things up between the people.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like cover up shit, but only talk about stuff that ignore.
Yeah,
and only talk about stuff where they think is worthy of like
what's for views, like what's
for citizens. Like they don't need to know what's going on in Iran or whatever the hell is going on.
Who cares about those brown people? We're not worried about
sand people.
Let's
what I say?
Let's talk about stuff that's gonna get people riled up in this country.
Check the chat real quick.
Oh, shit's popping. Not even. Let's go.
Shell shock, holding it down.
Shell shock.
POPE.
The homie Shell Shock, our unofficial third host. It says in the chat, a debt-driven economy is bound to fail. Facts. It's been proven, like Chris said, but it's a massive problem with late-stage capitalism. The alarm bells have been going off for years, but nobody wants to fix it because the top... Oh, shit jumped up. Because the top of the top are still profiting off of it. Yes, and I was about to hop into this too. I'm glad you sent that. Let me keep reading. Shoshock also says, hence why BlackRock and Vanguard get away with what they do. Yeah, he says, y'all hit my topic. Yeah, I knew you was gonna dig this shit, man. These goddamn corporations.
Man, we could have had you on the show, Shell
This would
Shock.
be a good one, man. You would have ran on a rant on this one.
Would have ran a train on both of us.
Jesus.
I said that wrong?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Just a tiny bit.
You guys know what I mean.
Choo-choo.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, they run Sinclair. They control all your media, which if they control the media, they probably control how you think or feel.
Nobody can tell me how to feel.
Except for the news I consume, and then you're still eating the shit that they're feeding you because that's what they want. Also, too, BlackRock has hired many former government officials into senior roles. All right, for all my political heads out there, y'all already know what's up. But for people who don't keep up with politics, just stay with...
Point them out.
No, don't correct him. What did I say? Oh, shit.
Point them out. Who don't keep up with politics? Point them out.
All right. No, this is for like in general, for like people who don't understand. Like, okay, here's the thing with politics, and so what I came across, I was at BlackRock owns like not owns.
So,
I might be owns.
Okay, so would you say that they have an influence on politics?
Yes, straight up.
Okay.
Because with these people in politics, politicians, and don't get me wrong, there's some politicians out there, and oh my god, it's probably less than 1%. There are politicians out there who may be trying to do right for people, but the longer you stay in politics, the more you become just a part of the gang. You start just trying to go along to get along and a whole lot of shit. But a lot of politicians, like being in politics now, and this is why I don't like any fucking politician. I don't care on any level you want to talk about Biden, fuck Biden, Trump, whatever. Across the board, this is what it is. A lot of politicians, like being in politics is like a jumping... It's like a launch pad to become CEO of corporations. Here's the gig, and they've been running this gig for a long ass time. A lot of people get into politics. They go out there to give the voters empty promises. They rally, they get them either riled up and get them scared of everything other than them, or make them think the sky's falling from their head, or like sky's falling on their head or some shit. But a lot of these politicians go out there and they talk about how they're gonna do what for the people. They get into politics and then they start lowering taxes for the fucking rich and increasing it on the poor. And by the poor, I mean anybody who ain't rich. I'm talking about middle class and lower than that. They increase the taxes, and these are politicians that go in, they vote.
Talking about me?
No, what?
I'm just playing.
No.
We're just trying to start something. But go ahead.
With politicians, they go in and they work on behalf of these corporations. They go in there, and a lot of times too, these corporations will give them funds for their political campaign when they're running for office. Because money is how you get into politics. It ain't about votes. It's about if you can afford it or not.
You know, speaking about politics, right? Like they actually asked me like for this podcast if we can do like a campaign for one of the political teams and shit. But like, yeah, they told me, say, hey, you want to like drop some ads like for us, like to do like a political campaign?
On a specific person?
No, for a podcast. And I was like, no.
Yeah, that means.
But I never said nothing until now. But but go ahead.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay.
I was like, no, sorry.
Did they say who it was?
Wrong podcast. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they were gonna give me the whole script, what we're gonna say.
Man, no,
like,
man, I can't. Were they asking for a payment? Were they gonna pay us or
no?
Oh no, hell no.
Yeah,
no, I'm joking. I wouldn't do it regardless, folks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it no matter what. But that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Damn.
I should have told you a long time ago, but
this is a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Shit. I'm thinking it was like last week.
Nah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like the ones that I denied. I was like, oh, I don't want these ads.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, trying to make us foot soldiers. But so back to what I was speaking on was that with politicians, a lot of these politicians get into get into the government and they start like basically controlling the law into allowing just companies not to even pay taxes or cutting back on regulations, all types of shit these politicians do for these corporations and don't do shit for the little man at all, anybody or everybody. And so their reward for going into politics and doing this is to become CEOs of these corporations. Because a lot of these politicians, they'll go in. Being in politics now and being a politician is something you can just put on your portfolio. It's not the end all be all. It's not like I'm doing this for the people and that's the end of the road. This is like I'm setting up my portfolio because I'm trying to be a CEO somewhere at a corporation that I was able to finagle the laws to help them get more money. And because I was able to do that for them, I have a nice cushy job at the end of my term. And so they're not doing shit for the people. And the fact that you got companies like BlackRock that employ that basically brings in former politicians into their fold, it just shows that they were probably bought out in the long run, and they just kind of like now they're CEOs only because they probably lower taxes for them, so they ain't gotta pay shit, or maybe like swerve the law into a different way to where, because I'm pretty sure they do some illegal shit like a lot of corporations do, but politicians are that shield to protect them from it, and a lot of these politicians are bought out. The sad thing about it is the people have to suffer for this shit every step of the way. It is just greed at the end of the day. And so
I don't think they ever cared.
No,
like ever.
Like, to me, I think the game, especially, I always thought the game was rigged for people to to grow into something more in this country. But after this whole BlackRock thing, I'm like, okay, it's definitive more than any other. This is the world that they want, and it's not built for you to succeed past the level they want you.
When you say they do you think it's some type of entity, it's just beyond human, where they already had their foothold in the whole humanity, where they had control from the beginning, where they actually created the whole system, and now they're on top, right? They've been on top since the beginning, and they've been given all whatever they wanted to do within the system. The people, all they're doing is keeping the system running, but they started the whole system. They ran the whole shit with the whole electricity, food, and everything. They created the whole system to where all that shit worked, but we had to be the one that's working.
The worker bees to keep it going.
But they still look at us like mud people, But they know people need to be out here to keep the whole system running.
You still need the worker bees.
Yeah, but they created the whole system.
Yeah, I could definitely see that on some level of where.
Yeah, that's why we can never go
to the top because
above the system, because they are the system. Until
crypto.
Everybody far from that. Nothing involving money, but until we all wake up and realize that.
Yeah,
because a lot of people, they're realizing that, but not everybody. Because you can run this information to other people. They're like, nah, blah blah blah, bullshit. I'm not gonna fucking deal with all that crap. Because they're already in line within the system. All of us are. Yeah. Well, what are we gonna do? Say no, and then what? Now we're homeless.
Now we out here.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, our shit. They're like, our system too strong.
It's too strong.
I was like, all right, I'll catch you in the spirit world where I have power and shit.
You know what? You got me right here, but I'm gonna catch your ass on the other side.
Jump in my divine council and shit. put my real suit on.
You'll catch me on the other world. Your ass is
catch,
done.
Catch me on the other side. Yeah.
I'm almost done wrapping this up too. Let me see. It says okay, so okay, all right. This is another thing that I did come across. So I'll read the chat. Or should I hop back to it or see? I'll go back to this then. Another interesting thing I come across, and okay, before I go forward, I need everybody just to take their biases, maybe of what vaccines are, out of the equation right quick. Just take it out. Just take it out right quick. And just think of like the pandemic, right? 2020, 2021. I think what this whole this
It's kind of wild.
No. Just hold on. I think any human being that's alive right now, any thinking human being that seen what happened in 2020 and 2021 with the with COVID-19 and whatnot, I think we can all agree that shit was real and it did some damn damage on some level. A lot of people got fucking killed, like murdered somebody. A lot of people died over like catching COVID-19 and whatnot. And so going forward, what I'm about to say is with this, the next part I'm about to bring up is that just take biases out of like vaccines out for a second and just understand like this, the world was going through a situation, right? And apparently, so saying that, I'm going into this where BlackRock owns a shit ton of stuff within the vaccines, and especially they made a shit ton of money when Omicron came out, which then I started digging down this rabbit hole of where some people, that's why some people started making these accusations that, hey, these corporations, maybe they're the ones that created COVID. They're the only ones that's benefiting off of it. Everybody else took a fucking massive hit. The people, us normies took a massive hit. And
it would make sense because if you go back into like all the nerds and shit with the computers, like what back when Windows was like on top of the on the whole computer scene and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The people who were making money was the people who was creating the virus for the whole software for Windows. But the same people that was making like the viruses was the same one making the antivirus CD to fix it. So they create the problem, but they have to fix for it.
Okay. God damn.
So do you think like nowadays like they're doing the same shit like with how
talking about with COVID, dealing with COVID and whatnot, or
kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah, we created the problem, but here's the fix.
Here's the fix.
Here's a fix, but actually like where they dropping other shit in your DNA.
I don't know if because a lot of conspiracies, well, not a lot, but some of the conspiracies I was looking at did were saying that BlackRock was a company that would have designed that, and I think it goes down like for some people it goes down to they have the money to do it, to create a virus or something. 10 trillion, man, you could do anything with 10 trillion. You could fucking buy the moon. I'm pretty sure if the moon had a price, you could probably buy it.
A trillion, period.
A trillion, man. That's a lot.
Because a billion already is...
It's a lot.
Doesn't make sense.
So then a billion on top of billions, and then you get trillions.
Yeah, then if you even reach a trillion, it doesn't make sense.
It's unfathomable, man. It breaks the mind.
What?
A million is a lot, and then a million ain't shit compared to... A trillion is so massive, it's why would anybody have this amount of money? Like, this is not even fair.
And then you have 10 of those?
It breaks the mind. And so, it says that it says BlackRock and Vanguard raking billions. Omicron variant makes Moderna and Pfizer shareholders more than $10 billion. All right, so BlackRock was behind the as far as like the shares and putting money investments into Moderna and Pfizer. They actually increased. It says BlackRock's Moderna and Pfizer shares increased by more than $2.5 billion in the week of the announcement before they even dropped the shit. But it was supposed to be for, hey guys, we got a cure for you for COVID and
you can't say that C word.
I'm sorry, Bovid and
all the YouTube heads.
Yes, damn it.
Yeah, they gotta make sure
on it.
They don't say that because like
there might be too
the AI has picked up on it. Now this show was gonna be flagged for some false information.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean.
Unless the editor Actually,
I'm on
through
it. we are on this shit. We gotta.
What time we gotta hire somebody to comb through this now.
An hour and 8 minutes.
Okay, let's not ever say that C word ever.
Okay, so the bug, they actually increased their sales increased by 2.5 billion the week of his announcement, and so far and that was from they made 1,573,995,000 from Moderna and 1.5 billion from Pfizer. Vanguard, which was also had stocks in Moderna and Pfizer too, made about roughly 4 billion altogether just off those sales of just by putting that out there and the shares going up in the market. Just down the third. That was a huge issue that a lot of people called out. I think during COVID was I said COVID was such an eye opener for a lot of people because it realized that you saw like a lot of corporations getting government bailouts and subsidies, and nobody was really doing anything for the little man. But hey, here's your stimulus check for $1,400. Good luck for the rest of the year. Like that $1,400, did you? Maybe if I was a child and didn't pay bills, that'd be a lot. But $1,400, you blow that shit away and with a rent, car note, and you might have like $300. I might have $300 left to play with, but that's probably gas money I should be holding on to. But you know what I'm saying? But it showed that just in that time frame, a lot of people started opening up their eyes to how it exposed, at least to me, is just how the U.S. runs and how it does just caters more to corporations than it did for the people.
Yeah. I think it never used to be like that, but I think like in the last maybe 30, 40, 50 years.
Reagan. Look at you, Reagan. You really messed this shit up.
It went towards that side of them pleasing all these other big companies.
Just
then
everybody.
They lost their own identity towards, just trying to be like the number one country.
It's like, yo, we can get money. Let's make more. Let's get more money.
Let's tag team with these alien entities from another planet. Gray version 2.0, whatever,
Yeah.
Making all these deals with these aliens, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. If whoever listens and you guys know about those motherfucking...
If you know, you know.
I seen it, man. They made a deal with bad aliens. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. I seen it in my own vision.
And the people suffer.
The people that's run the shit, it's not even people. I'll tell you that right now. And they don't even understand the whole system. I seen the whole shit. Like, let me give you an example. They're trying to run like people that knows how to run like a Rolex watch, right? And they're like they're the one that built the machine. But let's say you hire somebody outside of the company, doesn't know nothing about a Rolex watch, pretends like they know something about how to operate a Rolex watch.
Uh-oh.
And then you put them in the system, and then you watch how they work, and you're like, these motherfuckers lied.
This motherfucker don't know.
They lied on their resumes. They don't actually know how to run a Rolex watch. So this is like the best example I can give you, like what's going on right now in the spirit world. What I saw with my own eyes, what I saw, it was a system being ran perfectly, right? But then something infiltrated the system with people that, probably not even people, but an entity that's like operating the system, and they don't know what they're doing. Because I saw them. I literally looked in their eyes, and they look like robots.
It's like they ain't human.
I looked at them. I was like, you guys don't even belong here. How did you guys even get in here? Because I saw them infiltrating like a real system that's running like this whole earth.
Do they have like human faces too?
They have human faces, but it looks distorted.
But it's the eyes, though.
It looks distorted. I look at them, and I was like, you guys look so fucking stupid.
You're like a fake human.
Yeah, I was like, you guys don't even know what you're doing here. Like, you guys don't even know how to run the system. So the whole balance was thrown off. This is what I saw on a personal trip. And I think this is what it's affecting.
All this shit.
Our whole system right now. And it's like a spirit world war going on right now. And I think anybody, if they were to take a psychedelic right now, they might be in for a trip. Might not be a time to take a psychedelic right now because it looks crazy.
It's kind of messy.
It's like a war out there.
Just hold off for the trip.
Literally, there's a fucking war in the spirit world right now, and it's scary. And I don't know, maybe more people is gonna come out and start talking about it because I was saying a lot of people they got scared. I can see it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys are scared. You're hiding. They want you to hide. I was like, you guys better come out, because if you guys keep hiding, they're gonna take over everything.
Gotta step up, say something, shit.
Yeah, I was
back.
like, get out of there, like, jump out of that.
Push back against them. It's more of us than them.
Yeah,
They can have all the money in the world, but it's more of us than them.
it sounds so crazy, like what me saying it like this. But if you guys actually saw it and felt it, like while you're under some type of psychedelic and you're actually seeing it, you'd be like, oh shit, something's bad.
Some wicked is out here.
Something bad is happening.
Man,
The takeover, man, the fucking AI takeover is happening.
it's been going on.
Yeah, and then
Um,
they're like, well, you're using us too. I was like, yeah,
and
you out here, right? You got a job. They gave you an important job too, to keep this fucking world rotating.
keep the gears going.
That's just like it looks like a carousel, like and then I saw them. I was like, you don't belong here. The first shit I said, I was like, you don't even belong here,
What are
man.
you doing here, man?
I'm like, do you even know how to run that machine?
Are you from this neighborhood?
Yeah, I told Leon that shit. I was like, they're not supposed to be here.
I became
They're wrong people.
a spirit world Karen. You don't belong here. Like,
Yeah,
what are you doing here?
I call the whole the whole unit down. That's when I had to abort my whole trip.
Oh, you had to get out of there.
It was too strong.
Um,
Fuck, that shit was crazy.
all right, so to wrap this up right quick with with these BlackRock people, to finish off what I was talking about before with the big pharma corporations and the vaccines and this, that, and the third. And I do remember hearing this in the news that back when COVID was popping and shit, and then the vaccines came out, there were certain countries that weren't getting the vaccine because they were too poor to afford it. It says just 6% of the people in low-income countries have been vaccinated, while pharmaceutical companies sells boosted jabs to rich nations. So that's why America was able to get out all these vaccines and shit. A lot of people weren't taking them, but other countries that really probably needed something type of help, they were really getting ignored by the pharmaceutical companies because they couldn't afford it. And in the global pandemic, I think that's fucked up. You should try to help out these people, anyway, especially on a global pandemic. And those countries who didn't even start this shit, and this is like suffering from it. And a lot of shit was happening like just around the world. A lot of people want to point the finger at, hey, BlackRock, why don't you do anything about it? If you run big pharma, why don't you help these people out? So
Maybe they're the one that created that chaos.
hey, that's the conspiracy I've been hearing, man. That's some of the shit I was reading, that they are the. I'm not saying that they are. I'm just speaking on what I've read.
Yeah. Like, let me give you like an example of like human like psychology. Like, I used to play like this game. It's called Sim City.
Yeah.
Right, and then you create your city, right? But then you built your city like all the way maxed up. But then you're like, damn, what else can you do? And then you look at your bank account like, damn, I'm like rich as shit. What else can I do? Destroy the city.
Mm-hmm.
You create like these disasters and destroy the city just so you can fix it up because you got the money, you got that bread, you don't care no more. Let's say BlackRock is just like that.
Let me play God for a little bit.
Society's been built like everything's like cool or whatever. Like that's like, man, this is getting boring. Everyththing's like plateaued, you know.
Damn, people smiling? Shit.
Like, yeah, like hold on. You go to Disneyland and people are laughing. Like, hold on, we gotta cut that shit back. Too many people laughing. Like, we're gonna take it back a little bit. Throw in a disaster in there. Throw in like a
Put Harp on the phone. Put Harp on the phone. Let's
put China on the line, please.
let's roll this hurricane out.
China on the line with their the laboratory that literally they make viruses. Like, they go to work and then the goal is, how can you make like the worst virus in the world? Go to work. Like,
It'll work.
do it. Make the worst virus that can happen, and then like isolate it. Like, keep it like, where we can control it until we need to use it.
Yeah. to when it's ready, man. It's a weapon, man. Straight up.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, I'm saying like that whole God shit, like where people, they get so much amount of money to where they're like, all right, I'm bored now.
Yeah, once you get that rich, man, you kind of like, man, I'm bored. I done I done had sex with everything on the planet from every animal,
from a human,
from every child. I've done it all.
From a human female to like I've
done it all.
A human goat.
I want to just destroy shit, man. The perfect example I can bring up to somebody like this is the former president of Brazil, Bolsonaro, I think you say his name. He was the president of Brazil. He just lost re-election recently. Thank God. I feel like humanity. I think the people of Brazil may have saved Earth because Bolsonaro was about to. He had already destroyed like a huge chunk of the Amazon rainforest, and he's planning on just flattening all that shit. He's talking about building malls and industrial shit in replace of the Amazon rainforest. He would have killed so many people doing that shit on a global level. What? But it's like. There's like greed, which I feel like if you're a greedy person, you have to realize on some level, I can only make money if there's still people in existence. And then you have people like Bolsonaro, who is like, you're about to kill how many people? You're not. How do you make money if everybody's dead? And you know what I'm saying? It's like a different type of evil. That's like
you're new to Earth.
You don't understand this shit.
Yeah, you don't know. You haven't been on Earth long enough to make like a smart decision. You're like, hey, like Earth, like these guys just want to make money like that. Okay, let's destroy like the whole Amazon rainforest.
This is trees. I don't. For my planet, we don't have trees. I mean,
yeah, we can make artificial trees. It's like, all right, like,
sure, run it.
Where? What's going on? Like, are we like replicating Earth right now? Like artificially?
What are we doing? What's the next phase for humans?
They're like, I seen that movie Biodome.
Yeah.
That was a flop. You know, like that idea doesn't really work.
It's a movie.
But they did actually like make it into like a real thing, but it didn't work out.
No, man, shit's like
in less than a year. That's just like, oh yeah, you can't sustain yourself like that. Like,
no, you need oxygen. You can't just. Yeah. It's just gotta be.
That's when they realize like they're like, all right, we can't go to space yet. We're too stupid right now.
We can't even understand Earth. Like, fuck.
Like, we're too stupid. Like, these plants, I don't know. It's like if they're cool one day and then another day, they don't know how to grow. We don't understand them. It's like they have their own, I don't know, like they're just their own community on Reddit or somewhere where they know how to talk to each other. But us humans, we still don't understand.
We're not getting it.
Yeah. Mm. Like, I thought for sure, like, one of the plants was dying, and I was like, all right, I'm going to put you in timeout. I don't know where he starts growing. I was like, okay.
Did he listen? I mean, I heard plants listen.
It did it on its own.
Like the plant willpower.
Because in my head, I was like, I'm going to throw your ass out.
Your ass is done.
I was like, you're outside trash.
You're going to the landfill.
Within a few days, I forgot about it, but then it just started growing like green. I was like,
it just needed some motivational. Like,
I was like, oh shit,
it just needs some motivation, man.
Here's some water. I gave him some water and everything.
But yeah,
that's BlackRock.
It's BlackRock. That's it. Shellshock says also politicians that were pushing anti-vax rhetoric on stock. You know what I'm saying? That was such a weird thing, man. There was politicians who had stocks in these goddamn they had stocks in these vaccines and was still trying to push the anti-vax. Strange, man. Nothing made sense. I think there's a death cult going on. I don't know. He's right. I do remember that. But that's it for that. I gotta pee too.
I gotta pee. Yeah.
We'll be right back, guys.
And we're back. All right, so next topic, time slips. Concepts of time slips. All right, so what is time slip? Okay, so time slips refer to a phenomenon of people suddenly finding themselves in a different time period, either in the past, present, or future without any apparent explanation. So you heard like stories about this everywhere, even on YouTube. They have stories about like people, they're experiencing something weird and then they find themselves in a different time period. For example, one of the famous videos on YouTube, one that was a long time ago, where this guy, he said he was fixing his sink, right? While he was fixing his sink, by the time he got done, he came out and then he was actually in a different time period, like in the future, where it was the same house, but he actually saw himself in the future So he saw his future self.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
And then this was back when they had the flip phone with the razors with the camera.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I don't know how true this story is or if it's just a commercial, but I'm just giving you an example of like time slip.
We saw, yeah.
So the guy, he was like nobody would believe this unless we take a picture. And he has like this tattoo like on his arm.
The matching same one, yeah.
Matching same tattoo. And then he took a picture. He took like a selfie with him and his future self showing off the tattoo. And then if you look at the face, it almost looks like the same guy.
He
But
looks older, yeah.
But older.
I remember that shit too. Yeah. I remember that.
That's like one example of like a time slip story where it could possibly be like things that people experience.
So are time slips would time slips be like a specific spot that might be weak in reality, or is it just like randomly like it happen anywhere, or is it just like you're in a specific location that may be weak within the veil, I guess, if you
yeah. There's a lot of theories like what you said exactly. Like there could be certain spots that's like more thinner, like between the veil of this reality and another reality.
Yeah.
People are saying like some spots in certain locations have like a higher chance of you actually splitting into like a different dimension or a different time period. You know, like for example, like if you go to like a supposedly haunted house with quotations, then people are saying like, oh yeah, they're seeing people walking into this haunted house like dressed up in like clothes that was worn in like the era of whatever, where they were wearing big clothes, where the females are wearing like
the big guys dresses and shit, like Victorian era.
Yeah. So like that's like a lot of like the theories where they're saying like it just could be just certain spots where people are experiencing these experiences.
Yeah.
And then it makes you wonder like could like certain spots like on Earth, like all around the world, it's just like hot spots for like a save point, like a save checkpoint, like in the video game.
Yeah.
Where you can go and look at that save point, and then you can look in the past, like who saved whatever.
Everybody who was there saving. Yeah.
Whoever saved the game on this checkpoint. Because everybody could be playing a game, right? And then you're just saving your game until a certain point. But then that point was like in certain locations, because the game is made like that for a reason. They have like certain save spots. Because you gotta hit that checkpoint first before you can save.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So like people are saying like there's certain spots like in the world where you could actually experience like a time slip.
Yeah, that reminds me.
Makes sense though, right?
Yeah, that reminds me from my comic book heads out there in Spawn comic books. They have like these specific spots around the world. They're called dead zones, and it's like when certain people walk in the area, and it doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look anything special. It could just be like walking down the hallway of a house or whatever, but it's like certain like electronics go like haywire within these dead zones. It gets just like a small tiny spot, and it's supposed to be just the weakness in reality where a rift can open up, or people can actually like walk through and then, oh shit, I'm in 1938, and then I'm back in my house again, like but it is like it is
said like 1938 like so smoothly.
Yeah, like I don't know why I said like,
which is my mom's address.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. I don't even know this.
And this is my work password and shit. Oh yeah, this is my work password on the phone and everything.
It's like but it's like when you slip through it, it's not like you're being teleported. You're still at the same location. It's just that what was it like at the location at that time? It's like, oh shit, the house was even here, and it's trees everywhere, and
that's that weird time slip.
Yeah.
There's actually like a lot of stories about these time slips, but I mean, you can only take it with a grain of salt, because people can tell any wild story and stuff, but like what can actually back it up? Because there's really like until like this day, like there's nothing that can actually like back up like any shit talking about like some time slip.
Man, no, because it's kind of hard to prove.
You can't prove it. You can't even prove. Like how would you even set that up in a lab saying, all right, I'm gonna prove this time slip theory and shit. Yeah, but here's some example of some of the most well-known cases for time slip. One of them is the Hampstead incident in the early 1900s. A young girl named Betty claimed to have experienced a time slip while walking through Hampstead Heath in London. She said that she suddenly found herself in the same location but in a different time period, and she saw like a group of Roman soldiers walking by.
Damn.
And this was a story that she gave to the public back in the 1900s about like what she thought like happened, and it's all written like in the newspaper and everything.
Yeah.
Like her story, like back then, like of course they're trying to like bring drama because
It's
nothing exciting like back then.
No, man, what's going on back then? And what is it 1900? You said?
Yeah,
One shit going on, but
nothing.
tuberculosis. That's the only thing that was popping back. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably had nothing to talk about. So when a girl like this talk about like, hey, she was walking, and then next thing you know, she saw soldiers from like the Roman periods and shit.
Man, so
they wrote that shit down
before Jesus type shit.
Yeah,
man.
they locked these notes down and shit.
God damn.
That was like one story. Then there's another story. The Anastasia incident. It happens in the 1920s, where a young girl named Anastasia claimed to have experienced a time slip while visiting a castle. Like in England, she said that she saw a group of people dressed in medieval clothing and heard them speaking in a language that she didn't understand. So even like in the 1920s, like another girl claimed to have seen like people like in medieval ages speaking in a language she don't even understand. So like she was slipping between, time periods.
Yeah.
So you would think like, all right, like if it's that easy to go like in and out of like time, like would time like be like linear? Like is it straightforward or what? Like can we just pick and choose like how we're going through like our lives?
Time is a flat circle, which is circles. Like we time just overlaps each other. So
We're looping, huh?
So it's like today, I think it's more about, I always figured like with time is like, okay, if I were to fall through do a time slip right now, fall into it, it would be, what's today's date? The 27th? It would be December 27th of some other year. It wouldn't be like a different day or anything like that. It might be a different day of the week, but the 27th, the date itself, I think would be still the same. But I feel like this shit just stacks on each other. And it's just like, if you want time travel, do it on a specific day, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird theory because like even with my own experience, I thought I experienced like a time slip shit like when I was driving.
Mm-hmm.
I probably told this story many times, but I was driving like one night, right? And then during the middle of the drive, I forgot where I was going. Like I forgot my destination and everything. I was like,
it's happened to me too.
I had to stop the car. I pulled over to like a convenience store, and then I had to sit and think like, first, what am I even doing out here on the street? Why am I even driving? And then where was I even going to? So like I sat there like maybe 5 minutes, and I was like, first of all, I don't even know this location. And then like second, I was like, I don't even know what I'm even doing out here. So the first thing I did, I put my GPS back to go back home. And then the whole time I was like, why the fuck was I even out here in the first place?
Oh my god, man, that's not happened to me. I think it's only happened to me twice in my life, but I was like in my 20s the last time it happened. So but I know the feeling like you driving, you're like, wait, where the fuck am I going? Yeah. What am I doing out here? And you're like, okay, I didn't stop when it happened to me, but I was kind of like, okay, let me get my brain back on track.
It's scary, dude.
And yeah, that's just horrifying. It's like, did I miss something? Was I possessed at some point?
I freaked out. I was like, holy shit, like, what was I doing out here in the first place? Until this day, I don't even know what the fuck I was doing.
Man, that's why some people complain about, man, I hate walking into a room. I can't remember what I was in the room for. No, wait till you drive and you realize, like, wait, where the fuck am I going? And that's 10 times worse, man.
The other shit's just dementia.
That's cute. That's cute. But this is like,
okay, Alzheimer's ass.
Alzheimer's. Early stage. Fuck, man, that's scary, dude.
Yeah, like that happened like in my like mid-20s, and I will never forget that. Cause I was like, dude, I wasn't out here on a food run or nothing. I went, and then I was like completely lost. I was like, what am I even doing out here? I'm not hungry. I wasn't doing a food run.
So you haven't had it since then?
No, that was
me
like
neither. I was like in my 20s too.
Yeah,
That's around there. Maybe we experience it in our 20s at the same time, and then
That would be weird.
it's all the same. Everybody on Earth experiences it at the same time.
Because I did remember, like, not even in my 20s, maybe 4 years ago, where I actually saw like 2 shooting stars at the same time.
Oh man.
Yeah. I was like, pew. And then when I almost got home, another one, pew. I was like,
what does this mean?
all right, Goku.
Goku and Cell fighting? What the hell?
Vegeta's out here? Like, what's going on? Like,
are we about to die?
2 shooting stars in one night. I thought this was pretty cool.
I thought shooting stars.
All right, so another example of this time slip was the Philadelphia experiment in 1943.
Heyo.
There were reports of a secret military experiment in the Navy ships. The USS Eldridge was made to disappear and reappeared in a different location. Some people believe that the experiment may cause a time slip, and then the ship may have been traveling through time. Because the whole Philadelphia experiment was probably one of the most, I wouldn't say like controversial, but one of the most like
bizarre, man.
Bizarre and detailed, because
it's up there with like Roswell to me.
It's something that officially happened, where like even like on paper they're saying like some people like in the military, when that shit happened, their bodies was like infused within the walls of the ship and stuff. I don't know how true the story is, but they were saying like people were like halfway inside a ship and stuff. Like it's almost like
they fused with the metal, and then like half their bodies like in the wall, and like the thing about the Philadelphia experiment, as far as I know, is that it was never, and nobody's ever said it didn't happen. I never heard not one claim saying like that shit was never true, that it was all a hoax, like they tried to do with Roswell. Philadelphia experiment is kind of like on record as like this shit was a strange incident. These people were like half their bodies are like regular, but the other half is like inside the wall. It seems like they were trying to do teleportation or some type of shit. And the only reason why I think of that is because of the movie The Fly, when with Jeff Goldblum that came out in the 80s. He was a scientist that had this pod that was trying to use it to teleport from one part of the room to the other, but a fly flew into it. So when he teleported,
fucked up his whole DNA.
Fucked this shit all up.
Yeah.
Fucked everything up, because on some scientific level shit, when you teleport, you're literally like tearing something apart on a molecular level, and then replacing it at a different location. But sometimes you end up fusing into the wrong shit.
Damn, that movie was so ahead of his time.
Fusing people into each other, and experiments like I've seen in comic books where I'm teleporting, and then people get like fused, like half their bodies like on the floor, like just upper half, but the rest of the legs is like gone, but they're dead.
Because if you think about it, right, like what would be like the best way to transport like a human physical body into one location to like a location completely on the other side of the earth or another planet? Like you would have to break down, you would
level.
Break down the whole body down,
and then take it and then replace it at a different location and put it all thing back together. But then you get people that come back with like fucking hand on top of their head, like weird shit.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Their own hand on their head.
Imagine like because like let's say like you look at like a solid object, right, and then you shoot it with like these amounts of like different sound vibrations to where it actually breaks down that molecule to like little tiny little pieces, and then you take the little tiny pieces, almost like the pieces so tiny, right, like it's like in digital form to where you can actually transport that through like an optical cable. It's like, is that fucking wild?
It's wild. It's like, okay, it's like they figured out, okay, we could take apart a human being on a molecular level. We don't know how to reassemble them correctly again. So they actually become back like deformed
until now.
Until now. Hopefully, maybe. I would love teleportation. If that means I won't have to fly on a damn plane, I'll do that shit. I don't want to be the first person to do it. I don't, but I like traveling. I don't like the concept of traveling. I just want to get there.
Yeah, I hate it too.
Just get me there. I fucking hate planes.
Just put me to sleep and then wake me up when I'm there.
Yeah, that's why I always try to get drunk before I get on a plane, because I'm trying to sleep through that shit.
Yeah,
I hate planes. But let me just, I don't know, man. If I had the money, if they came out with some kind of watch or whatever, where, hey, regular consumers, forget about flying. You can now go from one location to the other with this watch. I'll let it be like some beta testing shit going on, but
yeah, I'm down for that.
let's go. Let's run it.
Fuck it. I'm like, hey.
Well, unless you end up on Saturn or some shit accidentally.
I'll be like,
that'd be horrible.
yeah, I'll be like, does it hurt? Like, no. Run it.
Let's go.
What are the other the defects and shit that can happen? You can die. Run it.
In horrific ways. The last user ended up on Jupiter.
I like run it. New tech. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. I'm going to be a legend.
Hates plane, joins the Air Force.
That's different. I was a cop in the military. People say that. Like, you was in the Air Force. How do you not fly on planes? Look, that's irrelevant. My job had nothing to do with planes. I wasn't a pilot.
That is wild. All right. Okay, so various theories of time slip. All right, so one theory is that time slip may be caused by strange electromagnetic fields. These fields can potentially distort time and space, leading to people experiencing time slips. Some people believe that certain objects or artifacts may have like a certain time slips. I can hear your stomach.
Yeah, my stomach just did it again.
Like some artifacts
still doing it. Oh my god.
May have like certain like time slips ability, because like maybe like certain like relics or artifacts, you know, they have like people like putting like voodoo magic on them.
Okay.
And they might contain like some type of like crazy magical like, you know, like some shit like, hey, because actually like for example, I actually saw like a video where this African guy, right? He had like this piece of some shit, looks like a cigar, like wrapped up, but then it looks like a bug is on top, right? And then he looks at the cigar, he inhales the cigar or whatever, and he does like some shit like it's like, you know, like Jesus Christ, blah 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 blah.
Oh, he's doing like a little
the little like a symbol like with his hand.
Yeah,
but he's not saying no Jesus Christ, nothing. But he did all that, and then he let go of the object, started floating, and it looks like it's like in the slums of whatever country, like third world country.
Shaolin.
So he let go of the object, right? Everything, the whole object was floating, and he put his hands like all around it, like saying like, "Oh, there's nothing like all around it." And then he just made this like little piece of whatever that was floating. So I'm thinking like maybe like people can put like some type of spell or something on specific type of like artifacts or relics.
What do you call it, like incantation, or I don't know the term.
Yeah,
for it, but they could like put a blessing on an object or a curse on it, or
right where that object actually holds like some type of like power or whatever that you put on that whatever relic or artifact. I think that's a thing too.
Could be. It's a lot of stories about cursed objects.
Yeah, a lot of stories about cursed objects, because people, they put that shit on the object like that strong to where it actually carries the energy of that curse.
Yeah, that was like a long time ago, right? When I was like in my teenage years, I went to the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C., right? And there they have the Hope Diamond. Now, the one they had on display, I heard it was like a fake, just in case somebody like breaks in and tries to steal it. But it's like it's an exact replica of what the Hope Diamond is.
Was it big?
It's like size and everything. But yeah, from what I remember, it's off memory, it seemed like it was big as shit. But I was a kid back then, so it might be like tiny now to when I see it. But it seemed like it was larger than life to me back then. But it was a cursed object, and everybody who had owned it before was always cursed. Like plane crashes and all type of shit. And eventually got placed in the Smithsonian, and then they had warning signs like saying like don't get close to it, don't try to touch it, don't do anything. But it was probably the replica, but it's a legit item though that's at the Smithsonian. Basically just like hey, don't get nowhere near this diamond because it's cursed. The same thing with the movie Annabelle.
Yeah.
The actual doll, it was like a Raggedy Ann doll, the real one, but it's like another cursed object of where everybody had it, and then people getting whacked left and right, just owning it.
Yeah, there was like another story about like with one of those dolls. One of it was called like Robert, and he was like one of the most like haunted. Like,
I think that's what it is. Is that what it is? You had the little
yeah.
I think it's
one of like the most haunted dolls and stuff. They have it still in the museum.
Yeah, just chilling like
Yeah, just sitting in his
Straight face.
glass case. But I'm pretty sure like that doll has like some type of like old school 1800s like pirate blood entity like running through that shit because he was probably cursed by like the local like voodoo magic lady. Because back then,
Somebody put that
a
imprint,
lot of
that
people
curse
like
imprint.
believed in all that shit, and all that shit was
Before
it was real.
Before technology, there was this shit. I think,
Castlevania style, you know.
yeah, I feel like technology and I'm not saying I could. When like a lot of this supernatural stuff come in, and with like it's like being able to like do curses and put blessings on stuff. Whether it's real or not, I've always been kind of like, okay, that could be real, that could not be real. But I do feel like if it was real, the technology kind of like pulled us away from that side of the world of that spiritual realm, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like technologies, I knew God. If you were, if I'm,
I think
it's a new religion, I guess.
I think it's gonna reach to the point where it's gonna pull us back into the spirit world
when we lose all this shit. I think we probably have to lose all this in the EMP blast, or
I guess it took all that. Like it took us we have to go through all this phases through like technology to make people realize
appreciate it.
All right, like there's the spirit world is actually real, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to experience it through like virtual reality or whatever.
Yeah.
To where they can appreciate it, then they can calm the fuck down.
Chill out, man.
Yeah, like chill out, like calm the fuck down, like
it's not
damn.
that serious.
Like we're all in this together. We came here like as a family, like who your family is, like you came here as like one tribe.
We gotta leave as one tribe, man.
Keep that tribe like together. Whoever like you're closest to, connected to, like keep that tribe connected, because in the end of the day, like when all that shit is said and done, when you guys all pass and stuff, who's the tribe on the other side? And then you're gonna realize, oh shit, like my tribe was there the whole time, and I neglected that whole tribe the whole time.
Man, should have been there with them from day one, man.
Yeah, then like make your time here like worth it.
Make the shit count, man. Because every day that passes, man, this shit is.
Yeah, like we're not getting any younger.
Fuck no, man.
All the food we're eating now, like super processed. Who knows how fast that shit's killing us? But it's
horrifying.
I feel like it's killing us, but like I'm like,
what can you do?
Yeah, I was like, I can do more, but it's difficult. Like eating healthy is expensive. Shell Shock says the real journey was the friends we made along the way. That is the real journey.
That's real shit, man.
Yeah, friends and
Shell Shock.
the families, like you guys.
To you, my man.
Like, everybody like you came across. It doesn't have to be no blood family or whatever. Like,
man.
Like
family's what you make it, man.
Yeah, then you make that experience. You make like the bond, the connection, and then you can feel that shit. And there's something you carry on beyond this life, beyond anybody's bank account. None of that shit matters.
Yeah.
It's all the memories that you guys make. That's why I think holidays is like one of the big things, because families already, to me, is like already disconnected. So what would be like one thing that can connect families will be like a holiday.
A holiday, man. Bring everyone in. Because throughout the whole year, everybody's busy working, dealing with their own drama. And I do feel like holidays, and I know some people got feelings towards, man, I ain't going to celebrate Thanksgiving because Christopher Columbus, or I ain't going to celebrate Christmas because it's a pagan demon holiday, whatever.
Right.
See it as like as a moment to where everybody can come together.
Yeah.
Just kind of leave all that shit behind. Let's catch up. It's time to catch up. And
it's that moment where the families, they come together and then they share their whatever they want to share. You guys just come together as a family. You guys are supposed to be family, you know?
So I leave that bullshit behind, man.
Yeah, because nowadays it's like super hard, where everybody's like distracted with their own shit that they gotta do. Everybody's like super busy. But how many holidays like where we can actually celebrate together as families? Very few.
I will say there's like maybe 3 throughout the year. 4th of July. That's supposed to be like when you turn up, everybody have a good time, drink or whatever. Thanksgiving, a more proper one. And Christmas
will be like the main one.
I think there's like the 3 bigger ones.
Yeah.
Families should come together, but at least take the time of like, let me stop the real world for a second, catch up with family.
Because I mean, you're supposed to do that like beyond like whatever events, but like just in case you guys don't like communicate whatever, like the holidays will be the one thing that would actually help create the connection back.
Yeah, especially Christmas, man. Christmas is that time of like that real family shit. That's
It's
that's the season, man.
but if you showed up and half the family's gone,
Sorry. That's so.
I'm not trying to be sour, but it even caught me off guard, because
But it turned out
in
good.
any like events, like my family never would leave anybody out the picture. And I was just the last one to arrive, but I didn't know I was gonna arrive to like 10% of the family.
But on the flip side though, it sounds like it was
it worked out great. Like
for real, man.
Yeah,
It worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
yeah. I connected like the original family. So
I saw a meme earlier on Facebook. It was a very good meme. It was saying that everything that was supposed to happen was supposed to happen. And it's like, and it said like, read that again, but slowly. It's like, hey, look, everything that was supposed to happen.
read it slowly, then a tear comes
He's
out.
like, just slow, that slow fat tear going outside your cheek.
Like, all right, let me read it slowly, then that tear comes out. Like, oh,
I get it.
I understand.
I get it.
Yeah,
But man,
but yeah, time slip.
oh yeah, time slip. We just went through a time slip just now, guys. Sorry.
But yeah, like the whole thing, like, man, we're here for so short, man. A short amount of
It
time.
was limited, man. This ain't for
So limited. Like, don't take that for granted, man. Like, one of the things I realized my mushroom trip, don't take none of this stuff for granted.
nah, man.
Anytime like you get to spend with family and stuff, like, fucking cherish that
It's a
shit,
gift, man.
because you just don't know. Anything can be like bloop 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 bloop.
Yeah, the way too many people live in the moment and not realizing the reality of like, look, people drop dead all the damn time, and just like the weird shit happens to where you don't want to be in that position where you're gonna start hating yourself because you wish you did things differently or
Right.
said something earlier, because you could probably given a shit ton of opportunities way before then to maybe make the proper corrections
Yep.
of trying to squash a
That's so
beef or
perfect.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I don't hold on grudges like that. I let that shit go.
That is.
Some people tell me like, "Well, you're being soft. You don't just let them get away with it." I'm like, it ain't about letting somebody get away with something. It's about how this is the world we live in, and we need to either. There's some things you should not forgive, and there's some things you need to learn to forgive. Not every beef needs to be a type of end of the world grudge. So,
Yeah.
a lot of times a conversation can fix a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, you just
So
gotta
you just
talk.
gotta talk.
gotta
Talking
talk.
is key,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
man. When you don't talk, shit don't get fixed.
Yeah, you just gotta communicate, and yeah, because you don't know. You're always thinking like, oh, what the other person thinking.
Sometimes
But,
you're overthinking about what somebody else is thinking, but
I think everybody's like
a
that.
lot. I
Everybody's
do
overthinking.
it.
Yeah, so like, yeah, you just gotta bite the tongue down and be like, all right, okay, you overthink now. You have to fix things now.
Be the change that you want to change.
Be the change. Like, go out there and
Just to take the step forward. Be the
yeah,
one.
if you want to fix something, go out, go fix it.
Hell
you
yeah.
know?
I can't agree with that more than that, man. That is amazing. Look at us. We turned into a.
Yeah, we grown. Like,
Yeah,
I think
we
like
growing,
over
man.
like this whole year of us doing like this podcast, we definitely grown.
We've grown a lot, man.
more
This
like
is a good year, man. This is a good year of growth for us.
Yeah, we're more mature, more like we
Put things in perspective.
definitely looking at things like through different lens, to different perspective, different angles. We're not just looking at it one way, because if you look at things like one way, you would never understand the other person on the other side.
For sure.
Yeah, so you always gotta put yourself like in other people's shoes instead of like just sitting right where you think like you're just a king and then you're just judging everybody. That's the wrong way
That's the
to
wrong way.
look at
man.
everything. Like, look at, because everybody, they go through life, different aspects, different like everything, situations, everything is always different. So
Hell
everybody is playing a different hand, like in a card game.
yeah. Everyone.
So you cannot judge anybody by the deck that they're dealt with. You know, everybody's dealt with a different hand. You know,
Oh yeah.
so yeah,
Shell Shock says 2022 with the media hijack glow up year for real, man. That was his,
yeah,
that was big, man. To tail end of this year, we
yeah. Like, I always say, like the end of like 2022, like we definitely came a long way. Like,
we've
as far
been
as-
grinding on this shit for a minute.
Yeah, as far as like just spreading out, like, okay, like, hey, hey, we're here. So like, we're podcast too.
Hey, we're little people. Like,
hey, we talk about weird stuff too. Like, we're here, you know.
Yeah,
like,
there's a corner for us. We all the shit y'all like, we out here.
Yeah. We've been doing it for a while. Like, yeah, and we appreciate like finally like actually getting discovered or whatever.
Yeah,
like
somebody
the
just
little
noticing
people that come to like our like YouTube. Like, even though like it's not blown up like that, but if you look at it, right, like we were stuck at like 50 subscribers for like over 3 years, and then like it shot up to like over like 130 or 40 whatever subscribers.
It showed them more time, and
yeah. And to me, I look at that as
I'm looking at the views. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, this view was not like this last time I looked at it.
It's like win-win, whatever. Like 100, 200, whatever. You know, like
it's growth.
Yeah, it's cool. Like it's exciting.
Damn, man.
2022 is like
it inspired me, man.
It's been a great year.
It is, man.
It's ending strong.
This is a strong end, man. Yeah, this is a strong end
for everybody.
Year.
Like yeah,
very strong
year.
This is damn.
But yeah, time slips.
Yes. Sorry, we're getting our emotions right now. Sorry. This is a good year for us, folks. This is a good year.
But we want to thank everybody for joining us for like this podcast. And then if you guys enjoyed this episode, leave us give us like a 5-star. Give us, rate us on iTunes. If you guys made it all this way, help us out.
Check us out on YouTube too. Shit.
Subscribe. Yeah, check us out on YouTube.
Leave comments. If you guys have any suggestions, we are always down to talk about the topic.
We're open to like any topics. And would this be the last episode for this year or next year?
We'll be back next week, but this is the last episode for the year.
So next year is a new year.
Yeah, next week.
Shit.
New Year's Sunday.
Damn, man, we
made it.
2022, man. That shit's so strong, dude.
Came in.
Finished strong.
Came in strong as shit. And even if you guys follow us on TikTok, can't believe I'm saying this because we're dragging our feet on TikTok for a long time.
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody who gave us encouragement to even do this stuff, and because that was our biggest growth on it. But if you guys have any suggestions on TikTok, hopefully I can catch these comments, because some of these comments would be flying at us so quick. It's hard to catch suggestions. But
if you guys are on TikTok, you guys leave in a comment. Chris is handling all this.
I am the TikTok guy for everybody.
So he's controlling everything on TikTok. Like, if you guys message him, just know you're speaking to Chris, and please show some respect. Be nice. Chris is doing our TikTok page, and I appreciate Chris so much for doing all this stuff on TikTok, because you
appreciate you, man.
You alone put like the whole thing on the map. I appreciate that, dude.
And guess what? We would have it. Look, we grinded for. This is what, our second podcast. Third? I don't know. This third podcast we've done?
Yeah, third podcast. Yeah.
We've been doing this shit for a minute, man. So this is
this
is my favorite one, obviously, out of all we've done.
Yeah, I remember like the beginning. I was like, this podcast, it's gonna be the one.
This is it. I feel this the comeback.
Like, it's not there yet, but I think we have like the potential.
Hell yeah, for sure, man.
Cause we out here. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Shell Shock. We love you, dude. We appreciate you being out here.
No, for real. Thank you for everything, man. Thank you.
You just took your time out all the time, not even just with this podcast. You're there so much, dude. I appreciate you so much. If I can like make out with you, or I was
gonna give you a hug, but
whatever you like, dude. Feet rub or something, dude. I really appreciate you coming out here, like just joining us, like in the chat. It means a lot. When I see your name in the chat, I was like, we're gonna have a good show. We got our dude in the chat, and
we always get excited when we see you.
I appreciate you so much, man. And I can't wait to see you in real life, in person, so I can show you how much
and
I appreciate you.
And for all the other listeners out there, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. And with that said, dude, 2022, like, what an awesome year. We finished off real strong, and I love you guys.
I love you guys too.
Yeah.
And I really do mean that from the heart.
And I love you, Chris.
Love you too, man.
Yeah.
Love you too, Billy.
What a strong asset to this whole shit, dude.
Is,
like,
yeah. God damn.
Yeah, we're gonna clock out before we start crying.
Yeah, I'm getting into my emotions a little bit. I'm trying.
All right, so peace out, adios. So we catch you guys in 2023
next year. See you guys.
5 stars.
Now kiss.
Peace out, adios.
See you guys.
It's not illegal tonight.